Hi everyone, I am Gayatri Deshmukh. Today I am presenting a work on text to fashion sketch generation. This paper introduces two main contributions. First is FLORA, a curated dataset having sketch and corresponding text pair for fashion design, and a NeRA, a new adapter for better nonlinear feature adaptation. This work is accepted at WACV 2026 conference. Here's the roadmap for the talk. First, I will start with the motivation and then I will cover the two main contributions, that is FLORA dataset and a NeRA adapter. Now coming to the next slide, fashion design isn't just about prompts like generate a blue shirt. Designers need fine-grained controls like silhouette, fabric, fit and accessories, but the general text-to-image models often miss these subtle cues, especially when the target output is sketch rather than a photorealistic image. A big bottleneck to address this challenge is data. We don't have enough data consisting stage and the corresponding text pair for the fashion data, which is written with the professional fashion vocabulary. And also on the other side, that is the modeling, adapters often struggle with the non-linear nature of the fashion details like lace structures, layered construction, complex fold, etc. So this work addresses both data and modeling challenges discussed in the previous slide. For the data issue, our work introduces FLORA, a data set of 4,330 curated sketch and corresponding text pairs, where the descriptions uses industrial jargons like materials, construction feed, which are specifically designed for text to fashion sketch generation. And for the modeling issue, we have proposed NeRA, a non-linear low-rank PEFT adapter inspired by the KN and aimed at the improving fidelity and semantic alignment compared to the adapters like LoRa, Loker, Loha, Dora, etc. Now first let's see the FLORA in detail. As mentioned before, at a high level, FLORA contains 4,330 text and sketch pairs. A text is intentionally industry specific, capturing styling details that designers actually care about. The dataset is structured around 9 semantic categories, covering garment types, materials, detailing techniques, and finishing. And more importantly, the description includes not just the garment but also pose, colors, accessories, because this is what matters for the sketch generation and which is highly used by the fashion designers as well. On the right side of the slide, you can see examples of categories present in our dataset. Now this slide pretty much summarizes the data curation pipeline. We started by web scraping the around 10k sketch images and then applied the multi-stage filtering on it. Flowchart on the right side shows the overall stages included in the creation of FLORA dataset. First, we have used the VLM based prompt filtering to keep the single outfit and sketch only images. Then in the next stage, watermark and text was removed from the shortlisted images. This is done because these things would act as a noise during the model training. We have also removed the background from the image. After this automated cleanup of the data, as a last stage, we manually check the images and then finally as a final quality check. After completing all these steps, we were left with around 4.4k images. Finally, we have applied the GPT-4o to generate the corresponding technical jargon specific text for the sketch images. Here's what one data point looks like in practice. You can see fashion sketch on the one side and on the other side a detailed description of it covering model pose, a garment silhouette and fabric choice, fit, color palette, accessories, etc. The goal is, if you read the text, you can actually imagine the sketch precisely, and that's what exactly model needs to learn, a controlled generation. Now moving to the next slide, let's see our second contribution. Our second contribution is NeRA, which stands for Non-Linear Low-Rank Expressive Representation Adapter. First, let's see the problem in existing work. Most PEF methods like LoRa and Docker adapt a frozen model by attaching a MLP style module, but those transformations are often too shallow to represent the kind of highly nonlinear detail we see in fashion prompts like lace structure, fabric, drape, complex folds, etc. NeRA addresses that by keeping the adapter low rank and lightweight, but replacing the fixed activation inside the adapter with the learnable spline based activations such as B-spline or RBFs. So this slide pretty much summarizes why NeRA. If you see, if the activation is fixed, the model might not bend enough to fit the complex domain details. But on the other hand, to fit it on the complex data, if we keep everything fully learnable, then there comes a risk of instability and overfitting of the network. NeRA's design choice is to keep the main MLP structure fixed and put the learnability where it matters, that is inside the spline based nonlinearity of the adapter. By doing so, we will get the controlled but powerful adaptation. Now let's see some quantitative results from the paper. We compared NeRA by comparing it with the multiple adapters. For this, we have fine-tuned these adapters and evaluated with the standard metrics like FID for realism and ClipSim for the text-image alignment. As you can see in the table, for almost all the baselines, NeRA's performance is good compared to the rest of the adapters, which showcase its effectiveness in capturing non-linear complex data. Now this slide highlights the practical side. As you can see in the graph, the NeRA tends to converge faster and the overhead is modest. Also in terms of training time, with Flux, the table shows the training time of around 14.57 hours with LoRa and only 6.78 hours with NeRA, which is only with the slightly increase in the latency. So in short, NeRA gives us the better quality and faster fine-tuning at a reasonable compute trade-off. So now these numbers are helpful, but the fashion is inherently visual. So now let's look at the qualitative comparison. This slide shows the input prompt with the highlighted words showing some details or the fashion related terminologies present in our input prompt, and on the right side there is image generated by zero shot method and the one generated by fine tuning the model using NeRA adapter. You can clearly see the visual difference between both of the generated images. NeRA captures almost all intricate details present in our input prompt. Here are some additional visual results from the paper. As we can see in figure, zero-shot outputs often captures the rough silhouette but miss the fine details like lace, layered ruffles, exact accessories and the precise color accents. MLP-based adapters improves these things and in among all the MLP-based adapter, LoRa is often the strongest baseline. But LoRa still struggle on the complex prompts where the multiple attributes must align. NeRA is consistently better at prompt adherence, especially when the prompt includes multiple intricate details like fabric texture, cut, accessories, color palette all altogether. Now coming to the last slide, this work bridges a real gap between fashion AI. This is done by moving beyond the photorealism into a conceptual sketching that matches the designer workflows. There are two core contributions. First one is FLORA, a curated dataset of 4,330 sketch text pairs with professional, industry-specific descriptions which enables the model to learn nuanced design elements. And the second one is NeRA, a KN-inspired nonlinear adapter that replaces static activations with the learnable spline functions, achieving the stronger semantic alignment and the fidelity with compared to the common PEF baseline. Overall, it's strong combination of the better idea plus better adaptation. Thank you. If you would like to explore more about our dataset or the code, you can scan this QR code over here. Thanks.